Hi, hello, greetings. Almost said salutations, but I've never liked saying salutations. I don't like that shit. That's for dudes who eat green jello. Those are the kinds of people who say salutations, okay? And I'm not one of those people. I'm not that kind of fella, you understand? That's one thing you gotta know about me. That's the first thing I say to a person when they meet me. Listen, you don't want to know my name, all right? I don't eat green jello. I put my hand right in their face and I say that shit. Motherfucker. This is Dom's Sketchcast. I'm Dom. This is episode 31. It's Friday. It's post 4th of July, aka July 5th, which is another national holiday people won't talk about. One of my goals is to make a bunch of sales for my shop and events surrounding the more macabre holidays, or just making my own holiday. For instance, like Basquiat's birthday, that sort of thing. Halloween should be a DSC holiday. The winter solstice should be a holiday. I have not seen Midsommar, so no fucking spoilers in the comments. Now I know I'm inviting that shit. You know, welcome to all you new people who might have watched the many Death Grips videos that I put out this week. That hot-ass content, hot off the presses, and you were like, let me see what this motherfucker Dom is up to. Welcome. This is what we do. Welcome to everybody listening to this show on iTunes and Spotify as well. I think the preferred way is probably listen to and watch this thing on YouTube, because right now I got the Blair Witch episode 1, part 1 playing behind me, which is pretty fire. And I know right now you guys are watching this and you're like, either you're like, this is really weird and this is just what Dom does and I'm used to this thing, or you're like, what the fuck is this person doing? And if you're thinking the second thing, now's a really good time to, who the fuck would podcast on top of some flabby white body with hair on it? It's me. It's me, dude. So hit subscribe and comment and all that shit, because you know that this place is the only place that this stuff is happening. I think people are starting to notice a little bit. My eyes are turning into trees right now. That's what it looks like. There are branches inside of my glasses, and through them, it's like soil and all that stuff. There's always a balance with being an artist and trying to be indulgent and indulging that part of you that just wants to smear paint on your face and say the word macaroni. And say the word macaroni 20 times in a row. And the other part of you that's like, all right, I got a show to make. I think that's one of the things I learned from doing Double D's, which was a show that I did. I think a lot of you know this. I think that was one of the main things that I learned working with D-Respect all those years, is like, there are these two aspects to me and every artist of like, I mean, and I was super art school kid. D-Respect is not that person. He can definitely appreciate art, but he would balance me out by often bringing me down, bringing me back to that level of like, okay, you got a show to do. You can't spend an hour talking about the flabby skin on this person's body, even though there's that gene inside of me, that Marina Abramovich gene, which would cause me to do that. All right, before we get into this interview, before we get into the massive meat that is packing, or is possibly not being packed inside of this episode, got a couple of announcements. Patreon.com/valet. Patreon.com/valet is the best fucking way to support this show, to support me. Of course, that's subjective. Subjective? Am I losing my ability to talk? Is this how it happens? Are my brain functions finally diminishing? Subjective. You ever say a word and you sort of question whether or not you said the right thing, and you just keep plowing through until someone's like,
no, it's actually,
Patreon.com/valet is the best way to support DSC, or at least one of them. this is all subjective. You know what I mean? You can support however you want, but I'm going to tell you 2 ways. Patreon.com/valet. You'll get access to private vlogs, secret vlogs that only patrons can see. You'll get access to a Discord chat. A specific part of the Discord chat that I'm only in and only me and patrons are inside of. Tutorials and assignments, that's coming up. I'm surveying you guys right now to see what kind of tutorials you want me to do. Valet the Summoning. It's this weird sort of fusion card thing I'm doing. I'm posting cards on there every once in a while. You get percentages off everything in the fucking shop eternally. What a fucking deal. Dom's Vault is unlocked. Dom's Vault is, I post a bunch of embarrassing, unfinished shit, sketches from dating back to like 07, 06, even before, stuff that I made in middle school. I do that. Also stories that I write. Valet tier, the top fucking tier. You enter Dom Sketch Club. And Dom Sketch Club, what those motherfuckers get is really special. Every 3 months, I send one person from the Valet tier an original small sketch from me. That's original, something hand-drawn by me. So the more people in there, it's going to be like a lottery, but right now there's only one person in the Valet tier, so this person is going to get it every month until another one of you jumps in there. Second thing, real fucking quick. Real quick. Prints. DomRabron.com/shop. You go on my shop, right? I'm going to show you right now. You go on DomRabron.com/shop or /prints. You go right to the print section. Things are running low, you guys. You guys are showing up. It's been fucking awesome. The hottest thing right now is the portrait of the death grips, Gmail, and the restraining orders. That thing, there's only 3 left of those. There's only 3 left of the portrait of the dead king, which you can see right behind me right now. Fantastic. There are only 2 left of the Flamagra drawing 2 print. Y'all have been killing it with the support. Right next to me. These things are limited edition. Once these are done, I'm moving on to the next things. The next prints are going to come out. And they're moving pretty quickly. I might be posting more old prints as well, just reprinting some stuff that I might have sold a couple years ago. And yeah, that's all I got. This week's guest is Eric the Young Gawd. Eric the Young Gawd is a fantastic, young, up-and-coming interviewer, writer, like I said. He interviews a lot of interesting people. I was on his show. This guy's great at talking and keeping the ball rolling. It reminds me a lot of D-Respect. He has a lot of D-Respect vibes to him, except he's a little different. He's from the South. He's from Florida. He knows how to talk, and we had a really interesting conversation about a lot of things. It gets very racial, because that's something that I talk about every once in a while. Not on this show that much, but that's a place that we go to, and we just had this really candid discussion about a lot of racial stuff and politics that are happening right now. Politics, another thing I really don't talk about on this show a lot. So you know what you're about to be getting into. You know what I'm saying? A few controversial things are said on this episode. It's kind of hot and spicy. A little bit hot this episode. So let's hop on in and catch up with our friend, Eric the Young Gawd, who exists right now in a room that I've created for him. A white room, which you'll learn about as well. Hey there, can you introduce yourself for the people?
Oh, are we on?
Yeah, we're doing it. We're in the zone. We're in the realm.
All right. So my name is Eric, and I do, I don't know, stuff, I guess.
Yeah. You do a lot of things. What do you say when you're at a bar and you're trying to chat someone up who you're interested in? Some nice, attractive woman is like, "Oh, you seem like a creative type." Like, what do you say to them?
Well, 1, I don't really go out that much. 2, I'm not old enough to get into a bar. So
how old are you?
How old do you think I am?
God damn. I didn't realize you were young. You're 18?
No, I'm a little older than that. But how did you think I was?
I thought you were probably 24, 25.
No.
You're 20.
I graduated high school. It hasn't been a year since I graduated high school.
Jesus fucking Christ. Smart people out there. You had me totally fooled, man. You're doing really good for yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that old yet. So yeah, I can't even go to a bar.
You get that a lot? People say that about you?
Some people think I'm older. Some people think I'm younger. I mean, I don't know what it is, but a lot of people say like I don't know. A lot of people do think I'm older though. But yeah, I'm not. I'm fresh out of high school still. So
Damn, that's fucking wild, dude. Congrats for graduating, for
yeah,
making it out the fucking system, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm in
Like,
college. I'm in college now, so I'm in a whole different other system. So
yeah, I guess we are. That objectively, that puts us in a position of. I mean, we're automatically anomalies for that. For being black men who went to college, immediately you're in that bracket of like different kind of individuals. I read somewhere that black women graduate high school and college more often than black men, which I'm not surprised by. It kind of I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, that makes a lot of sense.
surprises me a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it's
You
pretty
think it'd be
surprising.
you think it'd be the other way around?
I was gonna say something ignorant. It's not surprising.
Wait. I'm about to. You're gonna get canceled on my fucking show, dog.
I was just gonna say something ignorant, but nah, that's not surprising.
You're gonna get fucking canceled, dog, for your
uh,
statements here.
hopefully not, man. Hopefully not, man. Do you worry about that?
Wow, that's a good question. Yeah, dude. And I'm 31, and this is something I mean you might be annoyed by people saying this to you, but it's you really do change as you get older. And I mean, even since I was doing double D's, like there was a lot of shit that I said on that show that I'm like, fuck,
Some cancel worthy stuff. There's some cancel worthy stuff on that show.
yeah. There's stuff that I'm not willing to say in public anymore. And usually it was D-Respect. Usually it was his thoughts, and I'd be like the super liberal balancing it out. He definitely has some conservative viewpoints. But like I know his heart, and I think that's kind of why we get along. Like we're actually very similar. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of shit on that show where I'm like, fuck, I don't know that I'd be willing to. I definitely wouldn't say it again. Wouldn't say it now, and I would stop and think before I say it, which is it's tough because we need authenticity now, right?
Yeah, I was, and not to completely get off track, but it's crazy you bring up Disrespect because I was thinking about calling him like an hour ago to tell him that he sucks because he did that D request a long time ago about video games. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but he just like shitted on video games for like 3 minutes straight.
Yeah, sounds like him.
And, yeah, I was gonna call him like, yeah, you're really terrible for that, and just gonna hang up on him. So
Yeah,
I didn't do that eating, but yeah, definitely it's crazy that you say like as you get older you change because I just literally just got done watching the show. I just went off like 5 minutes ago, and it's called like Life After Parole or something like that. It's basically these kids who committed crimes, or they committed murders and under 18 or whatnot. I don't know if you noticed or not, but Obama signed like some bill in 2012 where if you're a minor, basically you can't get charged with parole or life with no parole. So that's like not a thing anymore. So all these kids who's done crimes before 2012 or who committed murders and got life without no parole, they have to be resentenced now by law because they're not constitutionally like they shouldn't be in jail because you shouldn't be able to give a minor life after parole. And they're using the whole thing where your brain isn't fully developed before you're 25. Your brain, you can't really, you really can't like, I guess, put perspective or put life perspective. You can't like see your consequences before you do them. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely you can tell a lot of these people have changed. Like a lot of them like were wilding when they were 16, 15, killing people. But now they're in jail, like they're totally different people. And some of them actually have gotten resentenced to be free. So yeah, actually one just got let out on Monday. So yeah, it's really interesting show. So yeah, you really do change as you get older.
I don't know if I don't know how I feel about people getting out of jail after they've killed somebody, but I also I have weird feelings about the prison industrial complex. Mostly, I'm like 95%. This is fucking horrible. I mean, this is like it's been massively detrimental to the black community specifically. I mean, it's like institutional racism times a million and all that stuff. And then there's this other part of me. I grew up very conservative and Christian, and to this day, like as liberal as I am, there's still this part of me that has this weird sort of relationship with vengeance. And I think Americans also have this thing with vengeance and our perception of justice where it's like, you did something wrong. We want to see, and this is fucking evil and it's dark. we want to see people like dragged. Like I think that is also part of cancel culture in a way. Like we like seeing people get in trouble publicly. And I think this is, I mean, like you go back to lynching, and I mean, not even just lynching of black people, but like the hanging, right? Like the hangman's noose, like being executed. We have this thing of wanting to see people get punished really harshly for stuff. And
it's funny you bring that up. I'm fuck you. Go.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say it's funny you bring that up because you say you grew up Christian, and on that same show, one of the guys that killed somebody, his dad was a pastor, and he got on the stand to speak to basically say, you know, like they should free my son, and he was crying, and he mentioned the victim's family, saying that he hoped that they can forgive, and he hoped that they can have it enough in their heart to forgive. And I feel like a lot of old black people definitely have like a lot of like, you can kill their son 5 years from now, they'll forgive you and stuff. And
it's okay, baby.
Funny because, but no, I was about to quickly say it's funny because his son ended up getting like still life. He's not getting out, so he didn't get resentenced. So the dad went to go talk to like the victim's family. He's like, congratulations. He's hugging them, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like a lot of people would just be like, man, F this, you know. But he's got a lot of forgiveness in his heart. I think that's really interesting.
There's this Gerard Carmichael documentary that's out right now, and he was doing the press junket. He was on Breakfast Club talking to Charlemagne, and he said that the last time he cried was looking at like the victims of the Charleston shooting, like their family, like this black family church going, never hurt anybody, and like and one of the mothers of the deceased was just like, I forgive him, you know, because I have to, and like I have Jesus in my heart and all that. And it's like I don't know that I'm that strong, and I don't know that I'm I know that for a lot of people, religion allows them to have forgiveness, and I think forgiveness is a very powerful tool. I just don't know. Again, I have this weird balance with vengeance and fairness in my mind versus trying to express love. Like the love thy neighbor thing is a very powerful Christian concept, but I don't know that I'm not a violent person. I think I can definitely hold grudges, but there are certain acts where I don't think there's any coming back from it. I don't think there's any loving it away. I really just, as philosophical and sort of existential as I can get, I think there are some things where it's just like you don't cross that line, and there is no forgiveness from the universe for doing certain things.
Well, no, I do think that like social media is definitely going to have people like not forgiving. Like forgiving isn't going to be a thing anymore, because once you see like this, your celebrity has like said whatever, it's no forgiving him. He's canceled, and we're not supporting him anymore or whatnot. So there's no forgiving. So I feel like a lot of like morals and things are definitely changing with like this new generation and new like surgence of social media. Like a lot of morals are changing, because once where forgiving would be the norm, now it's like we're not forgiving this anymore.
But I think you have to make a distinction. This is the perception of forgiveness. This is the veneer. This is what we have. This is how we present forgiveness, how we present punishment and discipline. All of these things it's the show. You know what I mean? It's the, how do I put this? So there are two realities almost. It's like there's the conversation that we'd be having right now if the mics weren't on, which honestly would sound a lot like this one. Probably a lot more gaps of silence in between, and I wouldn't feel the need to express myself as harshly. This is something I learned on Double D's, is how to state your opinion and make it entertaining. But there's the what your conversations look like, what your interactions look like when they're not recorded, and then there's what it looks like when it's recorded, when the mic is on, when the camera is on. You know, when the girl is duck facing and she has that dog face emoji, that's not her in reality. That's her showing you what she wants you to think. So in terms of morality, it's like, I feel like there is how you feel, and then there's how you want people to think that you feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about when I interviewed you, when I was talking about the whole my sociology class. We were talking about the whole dramaturgical thing, where the front stage backstage idea. I don't know if you remember, we talked about that, where like front stage is where you put on that like your front, and then backstage is when you're more relaxed. So yeah, that's exactly what that is right there.
But we're existing in both places now, which is so interesting for me as an artist. So interesting for me to see people and myself. Like when I go out, I notice that I have this distinct fear of being just another person who's on his phone all the time. But I do it. You know, I'm out there, I got my headphones on, and I look at everyone else, and it's almost like a mirror where I'm like, holy shit, we really are all connected. And I'm no different. I'm part of the throngs of people who can't be disconnected from it. Because I guess in some sense, we are always connected. I have no segue for this, but there's something, I told you I have a present for you, and you're the first person I'm trying this specific thing with. I've done this with many people, but you're going to be the first person I try this with.
Okay,
So,
I'm honored.
all right, excellent. So you and I are not in physical space. We're in digital space, right? You can see me, but only through a 2D screen. I would like to create a digital space for you to exist in whenever you come on my show, whenever you're hanging out here. I have this little room that I've created for you, and there's going to be an animated, little illustrated version of it.
Okay.
It's very simple. So it's small. It's about the size of you know how like when you see those you ever seen He Got Game with Denzel Washington?
Yeah.
You know the room that he stayed in?
Yeah.
It's about that size, right? But it's cleaner. I think someone may have died in there a couple of years ago. I don't know. I'm just the caretaker, right? It's a nice room, 4 white walls around you. It's been painted. There's a ceiling. There's a floor. There's a carpet. Do you like carpet or do you like hardwood floors?
There's carpet all in my house, so
all right.
carpet.
Okay, so we've got a carpet in there. There's a door and a key that I'll give to you. And here are the rules to this room that I've just given to you. You can add 1 item to this room every time you chat with me. Just 1 item, and then you can do 1 thing with that item. It's whatever you want.
It's really funny.
So, for instance, you could put a chair, you could put a book, you could have a bed to sleep on, you could put a mannequin, a shark, whatever it is you want. So 1 item.
Man, we could just start simple, just put a bonnet in there, man. It's just a simple bonnet in there, man. Just a bonnet. I feel like that's like the obvious answer. So just the first time, just give you something simple, man. Just a quick little bonnet, man,
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so the bonnet is in there. What color is it?
It's a pink bonnet.
What's the size?
I have a very oversized bonnet, so it's like just one of
the size of your body.
I have a really big oversized pink bonnet, and so just a big oversized pink bonnet, really big.
All right, fantastic. All right, that's what's in the room, and next time we have this chat, you'll be able to add another item or take another.
Yeah, I'll have something better. I definitely have something
cool
in mind for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, think about it. Just think about your room.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely think about the next one next time for sure.
So what's going on with you for the 4th of July? By the time this show comes out, it was 4th of July. It was yesterday, but we're in the past, future, whatever the fuck. Time doesn't exist. Time actually does exist, but for our purposes, it doesn't exist. What are you doing for Independence Day?
First of all, can you hear that rain? I don't know if you hear that or not.
A little bit, yeah.
Let me go somewhere else. It's like raining. It's like I think it's hailing outside actually, which is really crazy.
Nice. Can I see out your window?
That window's terrible. I show you this window.
You got like a creature standing out there with a fucking knife.
Let me see. It's like
okay.
You really can't see because it's like
I see a little bit
going on. But yeah, it's really going crazy. And I was supposed to go and do little man on the street videos today, so not for sure if I'm still gonna do that because it's raining super hard. I don't know if anybody's gonna be outside, but tomorrow.
Chase them down with the camera.
Wow, somebody's calling me. He's probably that's my cameraman calling his house saying, "Oh, we're not going today." So, but yeah, tomorrow I don't know what I'm doing. Probably nothing. I don't really have anything planned. Nothing too crazy.
No cookouts, anything?
Not to my knowledge. I'm like right now at 4:20 Wednesday p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's no cookouts going on right now. To my knowledge, that's going to be happening tomorrow.
I gotta make a confession to you and everyone listening to DSC right now. I am the guy who shows up to the cookout with no food.
Oh, me too. Yeah, definitely. I didn't know there was another way to do it. To be honest with you,
someone has to buy the food though. It's like you go to the person's house and they have all this shit.
That's their responsibility. It's not mine.
You just show up.
No, it's not mine. I'm not cooking the food, nigga.
Dog, you be the terrible Democratic candidate. You're like, it's not mine. Like, whatever, man. Come on, dude.
That's interesting.
How do you feel about all these guys? All these candidates, man.
I don't know. I was thinking about trolling this episode, and I was gonna pretend to be a Republican, but
Don't troll me, dude. Please don't.
I
Be
don't. I don't even have
sincere.
the energy. I was gonna pretend to be like a hardcore Republican, but I don't even have the energy to do that. I don't know. It's all stupid.
Last time we talked, you said you want to have a fucking pedophile on your show, and please don't ever do that. Please don't. Please, dude. I swear to God. You said you this guy wants to legalize pedophilia, dude.
Yeah, man. I think they called them. I think they call people like him libtards, if I'm not mistaken, right?
No way, dude. No way, dude. Don't put that on him. Libtards want to have like a libtard is a person who wants to dye their armpit hair rainbow colors. I don't know, something.
Did you do that?
No, dude.
Dye your pubes rainbow color?
Who would do that? Does people do that?
I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. Yeah, maybe I'll try it or something. Maybe I'll match the way they say the drapes match the whatever, or maybe see if I drapes match the bonnet or something. Who knows?
That's fucking horrible, dude. You should get kicked out of the. You should get deported for that.
I should get deported. No, I think he's even not from America, so he might really get deported for like trying to do pedophile stuff.
Oh,
but the Democrat people, yeah, I think all that is like, I don't know, man. I've just been feeling really like philosophical the past 3 days, and it's all stupid, man. It's just all stupid. It's like, just like I looked at like some like a little bit of highlights or whatever, and it was just like a whole bunch of buzzwords. It was just like, I have a black son.
And then the way you looked around, you're waiting for the feedback.
Yeah, it's like, so I really want to address the stuff going on in the trans community, right? Yeah, it's just like nobody's real. Everybody's superficial.
But I think that's one of the reasons Trump. That's one of the reasons Trump won, man.
Yeah, that's how people like Trump, I guess, because he just, he was in his bag, I guess, man. Speaking of Trump, I always said this. I said if like Trump was a black person and he had like slightly different views, I think a lot of people would like him. A lot of black people would like him. What do you hate about that?
I'm trying to think, man.
Like just because if Trump was black, what he does would be called being a nigga. They well, he's being a nigga right now. Am I lying?
Fucking rich. I got the jewelry. I got the chains. I got all the bitches. The fuck? What do you want from me?
I could see it. Like I remember, like the one time he was debating Hillary, and she was using all these big words, and literally Bill Clinton wasn't even brought up, and then he just went to, "Your husband's a rapist." And I was like, bro,
your husband got his dick fucking sucked in the Oval Office. Don't say shit to me, dog. I don't fucking really care. Dude, there's a fuck. I can admit this. I have this issue where like as much as I care about reality and people being taken care of and that politics should be fair and actually help people, there's a part of me that just I'm so drawn to chaos and fascinated by it. And I think it might be just a human thing. I think it's one of the reasons where you look at fire and it's just like we're fascinated by it because of the destructive properties. It's like no matter what you build, it can be destroyed like that, right? And chaotic energy. It's like you can build a government system that's supposed to work, and eventually you could have a guy come on stage and be like, "Suck my fucking dick!" Like, and if he says that on stage, I'm gonna simultaneously yell at the absurdity of it and why that it shouldn't be happening, and also laugh because I love absurdity. Yeah. And there's that. I think there's that weird part of my brain that's just sort of like. And this is, I think it's also a privilege. I think in a way this is like, it's a real American first world privilege for me to think absurdity is funny, because I mean like it's easy for me to say this now because there's an abundance of food and resources here, but like there's this part of me that's like, I just want to see him versus Kamala, whoever it is on stage, and she's like, "Hey, fuck you," and he's like, "Nah, fuck you, bitch." Like just
like, we're almost there.
I know, and I don't want it. Like I'll go on record and say I don't. It should not be that way. It should.
No, I don't mind it being that way, guys. So, hey, that's him saying. I don't mind.
That should be you and me. Like we're artists. We're dumb people. It should be us, not them.
They're not. They shouldn't be doing that, right? Because I thought about it. I was like, dang, like kids like look up to the president,
Yeah,
and
dude.
it's crazy. But it's coming to the point where it's just like the world is the world is changing, man. And it's going to get to that. The world is changing, man. It's different. I just feel like social media has really like has warped a lot of things, right?
Absolutely.
And Trump is now like changing the perspective of what a president like should be, because now people like we never seen a president like behave like he has, right?
Yeah.
So it's people that's he won. So like logically thinking, somebody's gonna copy his footsteps.
Yeah,
Somebody's gonna do
100%.
exactly what he did and run just like wilding out. Like, oh, he wild out and run. I'm finna wild out and run. So even though like what stuff should be realistically, it's gonna come to that soon. And it's just like at this point, man, it's like whatever, man. Like I can't fight it. It's gonna be like anarchy just during these like debates and crazy stuff. Like somebody would call a bitch one day, and it's gonna be like, whoa, that's crazy, man.
And then we're just gonna get over it. That's the thing. Is like I think he's exposing to some degree, whether or not it's subconscious or a conscious act on his part. I think he's exposing how little we actually care about a lot of issues, because
Yeah.
like it'll be like 2 weeks of this issue and then 2 weeks of this and then 2 weeks of that, and our attention can't necessarily be held collectively on one thing at any given time. It's like R. Kelly peed on somebody. They're detaining these kids in ICE. That's what it is right now. That's what the show. That's what season of the life show we're on right now, and it's gonna be something else in a week or two.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like definitely, like just like looking at everything go down. It's like reality TV right now, man. It's like a big reality TV show.
I think that's what happens though when you elect a reality TV star, man.
Sorry, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I mean, he's an entertainer, and he's entertaining. I mean, he's the one of the funniest fucking people. Like, but it shouldn't be. He shouldn't be funny. And I think
facts.
that's. I think if anything, I want us to at least put our foot down and be like, can we have a not funny? Like, I don't want a president that's cool. I don't want a funny guy. Like, they shouldn't be that way.
You don't think so? I don't know about that. I don't know if I
Nah,
can.
man.
What about Obama? Like
Okay,
you don't want an Obama type president because
okay,
he was
he's
like
cool.
cool.
All right, yeah, definitely.
Thinking out green and shit. Like that was cool as shit.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I
that's
don't want to hear him. I think they should be likable a little bit, because I mean we're animals, right? Like this motherfucker's handsome as shit, great voice. You know what I mean? Like obviously that's a component, but like really the stuff that's in your brain, the stuff that's boring that we don't want to have to deal with, that's the stuff we should be electing them on.
I'm saying so. Like I mean, but I feel like that's not realistic because you vote off of different stuff. A lot of people voted Obama because he was black. Like that's one thing. Not saying that's the right thing, but just like
That's definitely part of the reason I did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like, just realistically speaking, that's like we date people that we have interest in. Like it may be they remind you of your mother or whatever. Like it's going to be things like just relatable things that feel like home. So I don't think that being like a relatable or like funny person is bad, because if it makes you feel like home and their ideologies and policies work with yours, nothing wrong with that. I mean, Trump is just the like third degree. Like that nigga is like he's off of Molly, man. I think he's going crazy. But just in general, like I don't feel like relatableness and funniness should be like looked down upon, because that makes you feel like damn. That's why people like Obama, because it was like, hey man, I don't even know what this nigga doing, but that nigga made me feel
I don't even know it. Yeah,
I don't even know what he doing, but he make me feel like we good. Like when I hear his voice, and that's what people felt like. So I don't think that's anything bad.
He represents something. So when he got elected, you were like 8 or 7 or some shit.
No, the first time or the second time?
First time.
The first time I was in 5th grade, and the
wow. Okay.
second time I was in 8th grade.
Did you realize it was a big? All right, let me pivot to a more interesting question.
Also, I'm finna get my charger, so you can keep talking, but I'm just
all right.
my
Go ahead.
Whatever.
When did you realize you were black?
That's a really funny question.
Sometimes I think about it and I'm like, because obviously we know it now, and you've known for years. But sometimes,
Yeah. It's a good funny question to me. I don't know. I've always known that. Like, just you know, going to black schools and stuff. Well,
yeah,
like my
but like blackness in the context of like
well,
what
I get what you're saying,
people
yeah,
who
but I'm
are
saying like
not
I've
black. You know.
always known that because like we had a white boy named Shannon Stansberry that went to our school.
Yeah, don't air it out.
Nah, Shannon Stansberry. This is elementary school. I'm
You
pretty
aired
sure.
out her full name, dude. You're about to get canceled, dog. I'm trying to help you.
Nah, Shannon Stansberry was a cool guy. Cool guy.
Dude,
Yeah, yeah.
Shannon Tiberius Stansbury from 101 Connecticut Avenue.
He was a cool dude. So basically, we was in class, and like he had this thing. This is like I said. This is what age is this? This is like third grade maybe, and like he wanted to be black for like a week or whatever.
Did he express this interest? This desire?
He was like, you guys so cool. I just don't want to get shot by the cops or some shit like that. And he wasn't even trying to be racist or anything. He was just saying like, it's third grade, and he like know what's going on or whatever. Third grade. And then I was like, yeah, you don't, man. I was like, that's what's going on out here. He was like, but you guys, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I've always known like it's just something growing up or whatnot because I always I don't know, man. I'm criticizing a lot on social media, but Twitter, ooh, man. Like, I hate black people on Twitter because, like, for example, I joined Twitter when I was like really young, right? And it was Wild West. A really long time ago, people were going crazy on Twitter saying anything with no type of backlash, right?
Yeah.
So, like, the new sect of Twitter or whatnot, like the woke activist people or whatnot, they strike me as people who didn't realize they were black until they got on Twitter and was like, oh, it's cool to be black. And it's like, oh, that's cool. I'm finna hop on the train or whatnot. And I could just tell just like some stuff they say, like, oh, I don't like eating fried chicken in front of white people. It's like, all right, well, that's really weird. But it's just I could tell like these people are just people that like just realize their blackness or whatnot. I just can't take it serious, man. I can't take these D-Ray ass niggas serious, man.
Oh, did you just fire some shots at the blue vested Bambino? I just made that nickname up.
Yeah, I'm gonna not go in on the young man, but I just can't respect these niggas, man. Like that nigga was saying crisscross applesauce with Katy Perry in the middle of Times Square for like Black Lives Matter.
And then he said to her, wait, he basically forgave her for some shit that she said. I didn't really. Oh God.
For all of these Twitter black activist groups, it's all some pussy shit, bro. Like I can't rock with it. Like I can't,
dude.
Like I love the idea of Black Lives Matter, but like the actual like group, I'm not gonna put them down or anything. But like niggas ain't really doing nothing. Like, cause my big thing with that, I don't know how we got to this.
We're here. Let's have the real combo. Let's go.
My whole thing with this is like this whole black movement that we're having, right? The group that I feel like that's left out are people from the hood. You barely hear them mentioned. So the things that they're going through are not mentioned a lot. Going like things like just knowing people that's dying on a daily basis and dealing with that or whatnot. Like I interviewed, Tariq Nasheed?
I've heard of this guy. Remind me.
Crazy black dude on Twitter. He's like he's always talking about white supremacy and stuff. Interesting. He's a funny nigga though. But I interviewed him and we were talking about Black Lives. We were talking about the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And I was saying to him that I don't understand why like they don't talk about things that's going on in the hood, like people that's dying in the hood, like people that's killing each other in the hood. Like, why are we talking about that? And he was like telling his thing and whatnot. And I was saying, I went to this school called First Coast. This dude died when I was in 10th grade at a prom after party. Shot up the whole party. He died. They meant to kill him. And I went back to school the next day. It was dead silent. It was a really sad day. And his mom just crying on TV. And it just hurt me to see that because I'm like, although I think it's lovely that we're helping police brutality, everything that's going on with white people getting off of killing black people, like, why aren't we starting GoFundMe accounts for this dude, mama? Or just a couple months ago in my city, this little 8-month-old baby got caught in a drive-by, shot in the head, he died. Shit like that. And I'm saying, I don't see this on Twitter being talked about because that's, I guess, not the cool thing or whatnot, but it's shit really happening in my city and in my neighborhoods that surrounded me. that's really, really bad, and you don't really being seen or talked about because, like I said, these people that just figured out they were black, they weren't growing up in hoods and stuff like that, and that's why I really like relate with like the Black Panther ideology because they were actually in hoods squashing beefs. They were actually deflecting police brutality. They was actually feeding the neighborhood kids, giving them free breakfast. They were actually like grounds on because they came from that. So I don't even expect somebody like D-Ray to go back to the hood and do stuff like that. I don't know if he's from the hood or not, but
No, not really.
that's what I'm saying. So like, I don't expect him to do that. But when you got people that's from the hood, like Black Panthers, they was a lot of them was like previous gang bangers, and they was like really in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So when they can go in the hood and squash beefs with other rivaling gangs, they had to respect to do that. So I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. But
I'll clarify one thing. When I said nah before, I'm not sure where he was from. I was saying me. I think that was referring to myself. Where I was from was it's pretty much a black Latino suburb that wasn't very. Fuck, I mean, it's getting mad gentrified now, but it wasn't really nice when I was growing up there. Like, I remember there was a drive-by on our there wasn't, someone got killed on our street. Someone got shot. I was playing video games when this guy got shot. I was playing a shooting game. I heard a gunshot outside, and I thought it was my game. Very, very weird.
Real shots.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. But like, To answer your point, I think you unraveled a lot of shit that. Look, man. I mean, that's what blackness is. I mean, it's not necessarily. I mean, it's not. Full speed ahead. I'm with this one thing, and it's this one. It's not like that. I mean, there are all these sorts of issues from all different sides, and we're also not a monolith. There's a lot of people don't really know this because I think. It's like we don't have enough representation and real conversations to see two black people who are having two different standpoints talking about things. Because like I can tell you right now, like I'm Haitian, so it's like I culturally and on average I have more in common with an African immigrant than I do an African American. Someone whose family has been here for a couple generations. And that's just how it is. Like culturally, it just happens like that, and. I don't know, like I'm thinking about the hood stuff that you're talking about, and I'm like, I'm thinking about like, with this activism, it is really interesting to me because it's like, people can talk a lot about what they want to change about the world, how things should be intersectional and all that stuff, and also want nothing to have to do with these people in their personal life. It's interesting, right? It's like you can say these things and it's like, okay, well, would you talk to this person if they were in front of you in line? Like, would you be annoyed by them if they walked on a train? You know what I mean? And this is not me saying like, I'm not pointing the finger right now. I'm just saying like, it's sometimes you see posturing and sometimes there's I think those two things that can exist. I think you can care about a group of people and also be annoyed by them, and also kind of, I see all these sorts of things happening, and I agree with you on that sentiment of feeling like, honestly, I think most times we will raise more of a stink about a white cop shooting an unarmed black kid than, a black person shooting an unarmed black person. I think on average.
Yeah, and that's not even like me saying like, I'm not a black on black crime.
I know. Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times I've like addressed that. You're like, oh, you a coon ass nigga. And I was like, bro, I've gotten knocked out by a cop. Like, I get it. Like, there's shit that's happened that's like, should be dealt with. But I'm just saying.
We're talking about intention here. We're talking. We had to drill down to intention, core intention.
That gets lost, I feel like, on social media because it's text. You really can't sometimes feel like the inflection on their voice, so you don't really know what's going on. So yeah, I just want to like double down on that. But yeah, you keep going. I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem. We want to exist in this world where there's fairness and equity, and I sound like a politician, don't I? Where there's a bit. We want to exist in this world where these things aren't happening. And for me, just on a base level, it's like, I just want to know that in the communities I grew up in, people who grew up like me, like I grew up on welfare, and people don't know that about me. I think that's one thing. It's like, people hear how I talk and they just sort of immediately put me in a box and make assumptions about me. But it's like I grew up very fucking poor, and that's the point. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of these people who's like I kind of shouldn't. I shouldn't be in the position I am now. Like it's like but it's like by luck, by a lot of opportunity and like government assisted programs and shit like that. Like I'm here because of that stuff, and I think that's why I'm always going to be on the side of people getting more assistance and having the opportunity to come out of wherever it was that they're in. And but ideally hoods shouldn't exist, right? I mean that's I don't know, and it's a tough issue, and I think about it every day, and I'm sure you do too. It's like, all right, maybe not every day. I think exaggerated. I think about it maybe. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking like I think about that issue probably twice a week at minimum.
I mean, it's right around me. Like I live in a very nice neighborhood, and I've always lived in a very nice neighborhood. But I live on the north side of Jacksonville, and everybody knows that's like not the best side. That's like the worst side of. Well, it's not the worst side because you got like out east, and that's like. that's like when I see them, I'm like, oh, mom.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. It's like we're scared too. I mean, that's like, we get you know what I'm talking about? Like you'll be at nighttime, you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna cross the street. You know what I'm saying? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, so
I'm
like
terrified.
you know, like I live in a pretty nice neighborhood, but it's one of those things where it's like when I leave my neighborhood and I make a right. And I'm over here on Dunn Avenue, then you're like right there. So I'm 1 minute away from like the chaos, you know what I'm saying? But my neighborhood, it's like lawyers and cops living here. But when you get over, you know what I'm saying? When you get over there, it's like, oh, like I was driving with this girl. I was with Terry the other day, and she was like, oh, let's just do some night driving. And she was trying the neighborhood. She don't know where she's going. I'm not really talking. She driving straight. She keep going, and she was like, "Whoa, where are we at?" She was like, "Oh, I'm scared."
It just
yeah, and I wasn't paying attention. I was like, "Yeah, let's get out of this neighborhood." Like, I don't know where we at either. So it's just one of those things where it's like I don't like think about it 24/7 because that'll probably have me like depressed.
I know,
but you know, when I leave my neighborhood and I know people, my family's living around there. It's one of those things that was in my head. And one thing I do want to say before I get off of that, you said something that really like I think it's fact. You said sometimes we don't have like the right voices for certain topics, like it's not a fully representation, just the way that you're talking about the welfare thing. You'll hear somebody like, there shouldn't be government assistance or whatever, but it'll be somebody talking that was never on government assistance, like
they don't have a me that, because I mean, if I'm standing in front of that person, like they would completely not understand like where I'm from, and they would assume, like, we have so many assumptions about people, about like what kind of background you're from, and like we have this idea in our head of what welfare is and what it can do for people or who's using it. And I mean that's why representation is important, and that's why I mean, if you have an opinion and you're decently intelligent, like you gotta speak up and do something, make some kind of creativity. I mean, like, that's why I love what you're doing. I mean, even when it's funny, it's like I just love seeing. It's important for you to get out there and talk to people. I love seeing you interact with your community that way. Have you ever talked to someone who is like you talk to hood people where I feel like I would probably I can't code switch that deeply. I can definitely switch, but not that deep. You know what I'm saying? You ever talk to a person who's like too hood in your videos where it's like where they get mad at you or something, or like it's like there's like miscommunication or something?
No, because like I said, I went to I went to Biscayne, which is a elementary school. It's a black school, but it's still an elementary school, so it's not like too crazy. Then I went to La Villa, which is an art school. So I was around a whole bunch of like gay niggas and like things I've never seen before. Atheists, Muslims.
That's awesome, man.
Everything that I was never exposed to, so I had to learn how to deal with white people. I didn't really deal with white people like that, so dealing with white people. I only still got one white friend, but still, like I know how to deal with them a tad bit better now. Then I went to Darnell Cookman, which is a medical school, and it's like one of the best schools in United States. And it was a whole bunch of Asian people there, so I'm dealing with Asian people now. I deal with Asian people at La Villa, but now it's like fully Asian people, Indian people. The doctors, right? That's what I was dealing with. The doctors is what I was dealing with. And then after that, I graduated from First Coast High School, which was a black school, and I mean, like, bro, it was niggas with guns there, like, and it was
Oh.
normal. Like, it was no. I'm so used to it. Like, I remember this nigga was knocking on the door. They wouldn't let him in. They like, maybe let that nigga in
To get into the school with his gun?
He pulled out his pistol. He knocked the door with the pistol.
Oh,
Everybody in the class, they look at Brent. They just like, all right, I guess we'll let you in.
Wait,
Sure. We so used to it. Like, we so used to it. We open that door for him. He come in there. He waving a gun. He put it up.
wait.
But it's normal. It's so normal, bro. Like,
Oh, God.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a nigga legitimately. I guess he snitched on a nigga. Like, they went to jail. He snitched on a nigga. They both got out. So this nigga walk inside the school, and he beating this nigga up.
Oh.
He put this nigga in a chokehold, and he like, all right, this is getting bad. And somebody try to break it up. That nigga like pulled up his shirt and flashed his pistol, and nigga was like, all right, well, I guess I'll walk the other way now. So he got done choking him out.
Commence the beating.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, hey, whoop that nigga ass. Hey, fuck that nigga. I don't know that nigga.
Yeah, I hate him anyway.
So he finished whooping his ass, and then he just walked out of school and went home. Like, stuff like that. It's just like normal stuff. So, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not really like thrown off by hood people just because I'm like kind of used to it at this point, and it's amusing to me. Like, I love talking to like ratchet hood women because they make me laugh. Hood niggas are the funniest niggas. The only people that I have communication like kind of like I guess not discourse, but like just kind of like I kind of like mess up with them a little bit are sometimes white people, because I'm just like, damn, this is some really white shit we're talking about right now.
What's difficult for you? What's a difficult white convo? Like,
I mean, it's just like I say nigga less. I realize like I don't want to say niggas. I don't want to make it feel uncomfortable, so I don't say nigga. Like even like when I'm talking to my only white friend Spencer, I say nigga around him less. And it's just stuff like that. I just don't feel comfortable. So saying certain things, and then it's also like really what Florida people will call them green people, which green is.
What? You saw the question mark come out of my head like a Mario character?
Oh, talking to the Incredible Hulk? No. So green is basically another word for corny lame. That's just what Florida people say.
So you're not street smart. Like green is like you're like uninitiated. I had to use like
it's just like a really, really corny lame person. Like if somebody that you would see like, oh, this is, for example, somebody I bring them up so much, but somebody like the first person came to my mind was really academics. That's somebody who you would say is green. So
it's like,
these academics is that. So when I see people like that, because usually you would think like a hood dude see me with a bonnet on, you're like talking to the gay nigga man, you know, you think they'll be like on that, but no, they're just think it's hilarious. Oh, boy, I be seeing you on Facebook. Boy, you funny as fuck. Boy, let me get an interview. Yeah. But it'd be like the lame, I want to be hard and tough dudes. Like, oh, I can't speak to a dude in a bonnet. But it's not like really, you would see somebody as like, it's never like the official street dudes. Like the official street gangster dudes, they think it's funny when to be in the videos. But like I'm too insecure to, you know, like I need to be manly at all times. And I have to show everybody I'm gangster. I can't talk to you in a bonnet. Like for example, really quick story. I was talking to this girl and her boyfriend was there. Now I'm asked for an interview. I was like, "You want to do an interview?" And I asked the dude first. She was like, "I'm good." And then the girl was like, "Maybe." And she was like, "What is it about?" And I was telling her what I was gonna ask. And then this nigga grabbed her face like this.
Oh no, dude!
And he said, "We ain't doing no fucking interview." So I was like, "What?" So that's interesting. So I go back to my cameraman and we sitting there talking. And I hear him out there like he's whispering to her. He's like, "Man, I ain't finna talk to no punk in no bonnet." And I was like, "All right, bro." I was like, "All right." It's just like,
my ass would have been like.
So it's just like stuff like that. Like that's the people I have like trouble talking to sometimes because it's like I can't even relate.
No, and you wouldn't be able to because it's posturing, and I mean like, and those dudes like I really think. That's what homophobia is, and I'm realizing it's like it's the kind of person who's like so afraid of any like expression in themselves.
You know what's funny? I don't even know if that's homophobia. I think them niggas be gay on the low, and they be trying to like.
But I'm getting there. They're gayer than they're like. How do I put this? It's like you can. Gay dudes chill as fuck. They know who they are. Guys who are afraid of being on that spectrum at all and who suppress it are like they're the kinds of people who'll be like sucking a dick in a truck stop bathroom, and they're crying afterwards, and they're punching they want to kill him after. That's like the evil sort of like that's self-hate manifested. It's like and it's really sad. When you're talking about the dude mushing the girl's face, this is an expression of inner turmoil, and like someone hurt him at some point for trying to be different. You know what I mean? This is like, so it's like if you do anything that's different, it's sort of like, whoa. I remember I got called white for so many reasons when I was younger, but like liking books, liking reading and knowledge was white. Yeah. And I'll never understand that to this day. And I think it's like the fucking worst shit possible. That all stopped after I left high school, but like that was like the most fucked up thing for me. It's like people who look like me telling me that like I'm different, like they didn't like that I was different, so like they would like criticize me and shit on me for being myself and wanting to read books. Like what?
Like it's weird, funny, man. Because like some people say like the stupidest stuff are white, and it's like reading a book. It's like, oh, it's white. It's like there's so many
black. It should be black. It should be
so many things that are like literally like some white people stuff, but they don't call it that. Like if you said, "Yeah, I'm finna go to like a Dungeons and Dragons meeting," I was like, "All right, you white people shit right now." I see that.
Hey, that's me, dog. Hey, chill out. Hey, stay off the D&D, okay? Hey, back up. All right, I'm gonna pull that pistol out. This +2 pistol. All right, I enchanted myself. Hey, you back up. Oh, that's when I turn hood. I grow dreads. I get 2 feet taller. Hey, bruh.
You start growing Kodak dreads and shit.
Yeah. Hey, I gold teeth.
That is super duper funny. But yeah, man, that's it's crazy doing those videos for sure.
Who's the worst rapper right now?
Playboy Cardi.
And I thought that.
I don't understand why they keep putting him on their albums as if like he's going to add like some creative geniusness. Because I don't.
I like him on Igor, man. I like him on that Earthquake.
I don't think Igor's all that. I don't think Igor's all that good. So there's that.
I think there's Igor has the same. It's the same as most albums for me right now. It's got like 3-4 really good tracks, and I don't necessarily want to listen to it that much again. Like there are 2-3 tracks I want to. I think, excuse me, that's the sign of whether or not an album is good for me, is if I want to listen to it again. But all right, who's best up and coming artist?
Zan Man.
Who's that?
Zan Man is the DMV artist.
That's where I'm from.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a DMV artist, and he's super like just good, man. Like he's like a freaking reference god. Like he loves to reference stuff. He has some pretty like evil lyrics.
Oh wait, I'm interested now.
He said he was gonna run in a nigga crib and spray Raid in his baby bottle. Like
okay, all right.
Really evil shit.
All right, I thought you were talking about some devil like resurrection.
Nah. Well, he do say
that is
he
evil,
did
dude.
He did say he robbed his auntie, so he might go to hell. So there's that.
All right, I will not be interviewing Zanman. All right, Jesus Christ.
Also, I could talk about Zanman for days, but the artist that I discovered yesterday, which literally blew my mind, he is a hacker / deep web browser.
I'm interested.
Dude named TJ6X or TJX6,
and he's a rapper.
Literally, maybe he thinks gangster nerd rap. Like he's telling you how to like go on the deep web. What he said? He said the feds tried to ban me from the dark web. I downloaded Tor browser and got back in. Downloaded a VPN. I was like, yo, what?
All right, wait. What's this guy's name?
TJ TEEJAY X6. He had a song where he said the feds burnt his IP, so now he's at Wi-Fi using Hooters. Apparently, Cash App banned him for having 1,000 transactions.
Oh, in real life?
This is what he's saying in the songs, and I believe it because it literally sounds like he's being very serious when he says all of this stuff. I'm going to show you who this guy is.
I'm looking at pics of him. The first pic on his IG is a Money fan, so I disqualify him immediately.
Do you see the other pictures where he's saying about the Wells Fargo and shit? Like he's like a scammer. Like it's what he does.
I don't like that shit, man. He's showing his fucking Visa cards. Yo, he better not be fucking robbing people. And he has a fucking Uzi with the extendo. Fuck this, dude.
He literally said I keep No, he said he stole a white dude identity out in Boston. So I believe everything he's saying. I literally do think he's scamming and like going on the dark web to sell information.
See, I'm not supporting that shit no more, dude. No,
I'm not gonna lie. This may be the most different thing I've never heard. Like gangster nerd rap. Like he said he had to download Tor browser. I was like, what, my nigga? Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So yeah, But no, really, like I'm listening to like a lot of Zan Man, and yeah, that's like my favorite up and coming rapper right now.
All right, fantastic. All right, so speaking of artists, I got a question. I got a hot question from the DSC Patreon, patreon.com/valet. You motherfuckers. I got a question from Tyler Wood who asks, who's an artist you'd like to interview someday?
Zan Man. I like to interview.
Nah, man, I'm not accepting that.
It's very
He's gonna hack you. Watch. You fucking interview him. Next day, when you have zero money in your bank account, watch what happens.
TJX6. That's TJX6.
Different guy. Fuck out. It's the same dude.
Zan
TJ.
Zan Man is the DMV dude who's raiding people babies bottles. That's what he does. But no, it's literally people that's like not crazy. Like it's like I want to interview. Like it's not like an impressive list. It's like random people like Zan Man. I want to interview G Herbo. I want to interview Kodak really bad. I feel like Kodak Black would be the best interview of all time.
I think you'd be. I'd love to see you talk to that guy.
Yeah, I feel like Kodak Black would probably be our best interview of all time. I want to interview Zach Fox, and I just want to
funny, great guy.
Yeah, it's like a lot of just like random people where it's not like I want to interview Will Smith. It's not like too many big people. It's just like people that I'm like, I'm pretty sure I can have a really good conversation with that person because I'm all about just having good conversation. It's not like I want to interview people because they're like famous and big. It's a lot of like big famous people that I've been like offered to interview, but it's just like, what am I going to ask this nigga? Like, I don't know this nigga like that, so I just want to interview people I have good conversations with. It's like certain comedians that I want to interview, but
like who?
Well, there's like this. It's like this former football player. He used to be a punter. Dude named Pat McAfee. And he's like, he has a podcast, funny white guy, and he's just super duper funny, huh?
I love seeing a career transition like that.
Yeah, that's really crazy. Like he went from being a punter to a comedian now. He does stand up, he does a podcast, and it's funny because he's a really, really, really funny guy. I was listening to his podcast last night. And yeah, I think that'd be a good interview because we have a lot of same interests. He likes football, he likes basketball. I like wrestling, he likes wrestling. So just a lot of like interest there. I want to interview some wrestlers. Like it's just people that it's not like probably will get me 1 million views, but I would just be like, dang, I had a really good conversation with that person, and that would satisfy me.
Yeah, don't chase the views. I told you this before. I think you're doing great shit, Eric, and I think you should really like. Keep doing those porn interviews because I think you're really I'm serious because I think you're
you said it with such a straight face. Keep interviewing those porn bitches. They're amazing. Gosh, I fucking love it.
No, because I think you're really approaching it from like you treat them like people because they are people and you talk to and it's not
no. I understand 100% what you're saying.
When you were shaking your ass in that one video, hot bitches part 5.
Like that's not you.
One interview I was researching for, and it was a porn interview. And the dude was just like weird, but he's like, "Yeah, can I feel your ass?"
Yeah, it's like fuck you, dude. It's like, come on, that kind of shit. Yeah, so I mean, like, I think potentially I could see really big things for you, like doing legitimately interesting interviews with these people who are as smart and valuable as regular actresses. Because I mean, some of them they're just like regular actresses. Some of them are dumb and good at their job, or smart and good at their job. Some of them are dumb and good at their job, or not good at their job, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic.
I might let you down though. No, I was gonna say I might let you down. I'm definitely gonna be wilding next month. I'm going to LA next month, and I'm definitely like linking up with this porn star. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be wilding that video. So it's gonna be a lot of crazy shit going on. I'm letting her do the Man on the Street video. She's like a really popping porn star. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I like. That's what I like, dude. Yes, fantastic. Is it Sasha Grey?
Nah, it's this Indian chick. Her name is Violet Myers. You know, so
it's a fake Mia Khalifa. I shouldn't say that.
But yeah, sure. I mean, that's exactly.
I shouldn't say fake.
The person popped up in your head is the person. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So, dude, thank you for this chat. As usual, we're in this room with this pink bonnet. Next time, there'll be something else in this room. Yeah. Please tell people where they can find you.
My Instagram name. I don't really like saying it out loud.
Yo, you have to either change that shit or you got to tell them, dude.
I mean, it's like definitely like when I'm like around like hood dudes that I'm interviewing. It's like, what's your Instagram name? I'm like, hey, what's yours? I follow you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, nah, man. He posts like, hey, what is it? Nah. Pulls that pistol out. You ain't packing me.
You ain't packing meat, man. It's a crazy name, but yeah, shout out to you ain't packing meat. And if you want to watch my YouTube stuff, it's Eric the Young God. And yeah, man, it'd be like I said, I'm really, really hyped for that porn video. So you guys stay tuned. She's a really nice girl too, so it's gonna be a fun video.
Excellent job, man. Love your shit. All right. We'll talk next time. Goodbye.
All right, man.
Want to thank Eric the Young God once again for coming on to this show. Coming on to this weird ass show to talk to me, little old me. And to make the microphone waves vibrate so that they can enter into your ears and eyes. Somehow. I don't know how technology works. I'm one of those people, like, I'm not super, like, I'm definitely a techie person, but like I could not make anything. Like, if there was a zombie apocalypse type shit, I don't know how to make a computer. Like, I can assemble these things and I can like figure things out technically if you tell me how to do it, but I can't make any of this shit. I don't know how sound works. I don't know how music works. What am I doing right now? My vocal cords are vibrating. The sounds enter your ears. I told you I was going to tell you about some of my dreams and other weird shit that's happening. I'm going to reward you for sticking around to listen to this shit. All right. I had a dream last night. I had a couple of dreams and a bunch of weird thoughts that I wrote down. I'm just going to tell you them. And moving forward, maybe this will be something that I continue to do. I had a dream that my friend started using they, them pronouns in my dream last night, but I found out about it through Twitter. And I was like, they've never said anything about this. I don't think that that's that interesting. Dude on the street told me he finished a quest but couldn't remember where to return the 6 crocodile skulls in his magic bag. A little more D&D stuff, which is not white people shit. Eric the Young God, I'm going to attack you. That's the most heated I've ever gotten in any moment on one of my shows. July 4th recap. Yesterday was July 4th, like I mentioned. And I ate so fucking much because that's what you do when you're an American. You eat a lot and then you do karaoke. Some of the karaoke I did Ghost Town, Kanye, boom. Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Tears for Fears, boom. Hard to Explain by The Strokes, boom. I did these strategically though, because when I do karaoke, I want to make sure that people can. It's not just me singing, because I'll get self-conscious. If no one else was around, if I really had the stones, I think Beach House Wishes is a really good karaoke song. But I mean, it's it's indie. People don't. There's no Beach House Wishes karaoke thing. Maybe someday it'll be on there. Some kind of indie karaoke thing. If there was an indie karaoke bar, people wouldn't be able to. I think people wouldn't. It would be like this large room where people are singing all these obscure songs, but it's sort of like you're expected for other people to not know what the song is. Like, all right, I'm gonna get up and sing Sufjan Stevens' "Impossible Soul" for 28 minutes, and people are like, "Yeah, man," in the bar. Yeah. Shout out to every immigrant who has to deal with long phone calls with relatives they have never met or perhaps have met once, and you have to speak to them in another language and have a conversation that lasts about 10 seconds. That's a moment that I think a lot of Americans don't understand. Como ye, Dominique? Como ye? Pas plus mal. That was me speaking. That was me speaking to an old Haitian relative that only speaks Creole, and I can only go so far with those conversations. And I think even if I was able to communicate with them the way I wanted to, as efficiently as I wanted to, they'd be like, suddenly I don't want to talk to this person. I was really interested before in talking to them, and now I don't want to. I had a dream that I was in an alleyway trying to get hired to be the host of the lead writer on some BET show. And they were like, the people assessing me were going to be the people who were going to be like my crew, my cast and crew of this show. And it was really exciting. But it was in an alleyway, and they were like, for some reason, they were like wildcats and lions in this alleyway. It's kind of weird. I remember feeling like I really was hoping that they thought that I was cool. I was like, man, I hope these people are cool. But that's not my job to be cool, really. I don't think cool is like that's not my aesthetic. That's not the main thing I'm going for. So, I mean, obviously they liked me for some reason if they were going to have me even go through this shit, this preliminary phase. And there's also this dude whose name started with a K in my dream, who is Haitian, and he remembered me pretty well. And he had talked to me once before, but I did not remember him at all, which is, that's not a position of power. That's a position of suffering on my part, because I'm like, oh, I'm nervous. Did I, what the fuck? I just turned really Haitian just now. You know. Why? Oh God! All right, let me grab the reins of this thing. We grab the reins of this show. Taxi us on down to the finish, to the finale. Because you all have places to be. You'll have art to create, stuff to make. You know what I'm saying? I want to remind you all once more. Patreon.com/valet is the place. DomRabburn.com/shop is the place. Don't have sponsors yet. It's because I want you to go to these places and support me through there. Before I start telling you to go buy like Demon Lotion or whatever the sponsor is going to be. Buy a print. Hop on Patreon. Give me $5 a month. You know what I'm saying? Put them coins in my pocket. I want to send a shout out to the top valet, Asa James, from the valet tier. I want to shout out the newest valet, Curtis Sizzler, who also bought a bunch of prints, bought a shirt from the Death Grips video that I put out yesterday. And also, I mean, if you're not doing anything, right now after this show, after I mosey on out of here, you should check out the Death Grips videos that I've been putting out this week. They've been kind of fire. People are noticing them. They're getting a little bit of buzz out there. Add a little more buzz to them. Sprinkle more buzz on there. Don't forget, click like on this video, comment. Shout out to Eric the Young God. Shout out to Justin Wobbs for making the music. Shout out to Ryan, cameraman Ryan, who's been behind the scenes recording and editing these things and making the shit look spicy, fucking awesome work. Shout out to you for listening this, and shout out to me for sitting through this with and being able to complete this show without questioning myself too much to the point where I'm like, why the fuck am I even doing this? I had that thought at least once every show, but I haven't told you that till now. Anyway, don't second guess yourself. Go out, do something creative, even if you don't want to. If you're able to listen to this right now and watch this in comfort without bullets flying at you, that means you're obligated to create. Don't second guess yourself. Just make it. Just go make the thing. All right, you fucks. Goodbye. I will see you in the next episode next week. Unless I am not here. I don't know what you would do in that case. Watch my old videos. All my art skyrockets in price? Probably. Okay. That's all I got to say. All right. Bye.